What up, y'all? It's your girl, Aisha EC. Welcome to my channel, Urban Awakenings. Thank you for watching. If you're a first-time viewer, don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, follow for notifications, like, share, comment, okay? So we're going to get into this video. This video is a long time in the making. It's actually a remake of a previous video that I made. So this video is entitled spiritual regimens, spiritual care, spiritual practices, okay? This video is significant to myself because as long as I've been doing this, I've never had a steady spiritual practice. I've never really been big on routine. I'm so free-spirited that it's like I go where the wind blows me. And I've always had like not a need for a spiritual practice, but just turning my nose up at routine. But as I get older, I am realizing it is extremely important to have your own spiritual practices. Now, they don't have to look necessarily like somebody else's. You know, things that I do might not look like the next person's things that they do. But the benefit of a spiritual practice is so significant. The benefit is, different things carry different energies along with them for different purposes. But ultimately, the whole purpose is to raise your vibrational frequency to function at an optimal and efficient level of mind, body, and spirit. You know what I'm saying? You want everything, all your gears turning in the right direction. You don't want your body over here doing this thing and your mind over here doing this thing and your spirit over here doing this thing. You want everything cohesive, a good equilibrium. So these spiritual regimens and these spiritual practices are designed to target certain areas and grow those areas. Okay, so let's get into them. The first one is the most important. That's why I made it first. In my viewpoint, it's the most important. Meditation. This one was the one that had the biggest challenge for me out of everything that's on this list. I've been meditating for 12 years, but I don't really like meditation. I only like it under certain instances. But what I'm learning is, there are things that can be a part of your spiritual practice that can be unconventional. You hear about people talking about ayahuasca and mushrooms and acid and marijuana as all being a part of their spiritual practice. And you would think, how can that be a part of a spiritual practice? But it can. Everything is a tool. You just have to figure out how to use it. You know what I'm saying? You have to figure out the rules of the tool. So, meditation tool. Meditation is you can't hear if you don't shut up. Basically, period, point blank. You can't hear what Spirit's trying to tell you if you're constantly in the reality of the matrix. If you're constantly in, I gotta go to work, I gotta go to do this, I gotta pay this bill, I gotta, if your mind races, your mind can race. Even when you sleep, your mind is still active. Even in your dreaming, your mind, your brain is constantly functioning. Meditation is like sit down and shut up and listen to Spirit. The misconception of quieting your mind is people think that they have to do something. They think that they actively have to focus on shut up, shush mind, be quiet brain, and it doesn't work that way. That never works. The more you think about not doing something, the more you're going to think about that thing that you don't want to do. So the more you tell your mind to quiet, the more your mind is going to think about, I need to be quiet. I need to be quiet. And then your mind is thinking and it's not being quiet. So the goal of meditation is to just be with your mind, body, and spirit. Just be with yourself. Just be. Watch the thoughts. Let them come. Let them go. If your mind want to go crazy, let it go crazy. There will be quiet moments. You know what I'm saying? those moments are the ones that are opening you up. It's opening up your connection with the spirit world. It's opening up your ability to have communication between source, between God, between angels, and between yourself. In those moments, those quiet moments of communication where you're getting poured into, you're getting downloads, those are what connect you to the answers of what you need to do in your life, period. Period. Whatever aspect in your life that you think you need an answer for, it's inside of you. It's already there. But if you don't quiet, you never get to experience that answer moving from your subconscious, where it is, it's just hidden, to your conscious. There has to be a movement. If your conscious is constantly going, constantly moving, there is no allowance for the subconscious answers to bubble to the surface. That is why meditation is so important. Another important spiritual practice is getting out of nature. I put these number 1 and number 2 because they're the most neglected out of everything that's on this list. We work indoors, we live indoors, we don't have a connection to nature anymore, and that is detrimental. Can be. I ain't gonna say, nope, take that back. I'm not gonna say detrimental. I'm going to say that the connection to nature will enhance everything else. It'll make it better. It'll make your spiritual growth journey even that more accelerated. Getting out connected, nature has a connection to creation that is so pure that we lose because, we're multifaceted beings and it's cool. We lose that ability because we walk in this man-made world that we created for ourselves, these structures, these systems. And nature is not in that system at all. Nature goes with the flow, the natural flow of creation, the natural cycles of life, survival, death, rebirth. Nature kind of has an understanding of how life is that is very simplistic, that we kind of don't necessarily connect to, think about, pay attention to, even at this point really understand. I was watching this documentary last night and it was about this bird. I forgot the name of the bird. The name of the documentary is on Netflix. It's called Everything is Connected. And it was about this bird in Delaware that flies to Brazil for the winter. But the bird cuts its nesting season short based off of the weather patterns of the hurricanes. And this man realized this, and he started being able to predict whether or not there was going to be a bad hurricane pattern by how early this bird takes off. The earlier the bird leaves, it's because it's going to run into hurricane season. And the bird knows that this year it's going to be a bad hurricane season. How the frick does the bird know that? You know what I'm saying? Because they have a connection to nature that human beings, we don't have anymore. We need to reestablish that connection. Whether it's walking in a park, get out into the natural parts of nature. The rivers, the lakes, the springs, the mountains, the beaches, the natural resources of nature, man. Hug a freaking tree, man. Get out, watch some birds, It will connect you. It will ground you. It will restore your oneness with the universe. This one is a spiritual practice, but we don't think it is, but it is, because you are what you eat. You are what you consume. On a scale of not just diet, but all around everything, because everything has an energetic frequency. So what you take in, your thoughts, your conversations, your environments, the environments you go in, the things that you ingest, the things that you listen to, the things that you watch, all of this is, baby, you are what you eat. You become that. You're taking it into you. You're taking those energies into you and incorporating them. Your diet is important. I know we like to think that it's not, but it is, because food has energetic vibrations. I'm not going to get into the technicalities. I've seen like little experiments, documentaries, things about the vibrations of organic food, and you can compare that to a cheeseburger. They're using like some type of electromagnetic tool to measure this. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Don't get me into it. But the reason I know is basically my own trial and error. You know, most of the food we eat that's processed, it's not real food. It's fake food, and we are not conscious of what we put in our bodies, and that has an effect on how we feel, not just physically, but mentally, but spiritually, but energetically. The lower the vibrational food, the lower the vibration in your body. You're taking this into your temple. This is your temple. This is the vehicle that propels your consciousness, that propels your spirit around existence. So we have to be mindful of what we take into it and what we do with it, which leads to the next one: exercise. But no, wait. I want to keep talking about diet for a minute. I'm not through with diet, because this one is very personal to me, because I'm 6 months out of eating meat, and I was a meat eater for a long time. Ain't nothing wrong with no meat. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. I don't knock nobody else. Your thing is your thing. Because I didn't do it based off of what somebody else told me I needed to do. When I stopped eating meat, it was because my body's reactions, I was noticing it. Like, I'm heavy after I eat meat. My digestive system isn't right. My pipes is clogging up. You know what I'm saying? It was just certain things that I was just like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like the way it's making me feel. But then I realized I am completely addicted to meat. So then I had to go through the process of accepting the fact that I was addicted to it. And it took a couple of years of conscious attention to that specific subject, and then it took like me slowly changing my diet. I didn't try to do it all at once, because doing it all at once is like sometimes we bite off more than we could chew. I did it little by little, baby. And my whole thing is, if I could do it, anybody could do it, because I was a self-proclaimed carnivore, and I ate a lot. I ate a lot, and I like to eat. And I didn't like the taste of vegetables. I like fruit, but I didn't like vegetables. So there was all these things that I had to work with. Find what works for you. That ultimately, find the diet that works best for you. You'll know it, because it'll align you. You'll feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not feeling good about it afterwards, you don't need to be doing it. Period, point blank. But that's you telling you that. That's your body telling your body. So you have to listen to your body. We tend to accommodate what feels good to us in that moment, that instant gratification, that instant release of dopamine. We get addicted to that. The brain gives us these little rewards of dopamine when we do what we like, even if it's bad for us. Why do you think so many people die of heart disease and diabetes and stuff? It's diet, baby. As a nurse, it's diet. It's diet and exercise. They go hand in hand. And that's something that, especially in America, is not talked about enough. Good nutrition. And not only that, but they lie. They lie about it. If you look at that pyramid scale and that 3 meals a day shit, that it's lies. It's lies. Your body tells you what it needs. Your body tells you when you need to eat. Your body tells you what you need to do. You need to be conscious of what it's saying to you. Your body might tell you skip breakfast this morning, but you need to eat this for lunch, this specific thing. So it's a matter of being in tune with your body. That's why diet becomes a spiritual practice, because it allows you If you incorporate the meditation, it allows you to get quiet, listen to what your body's trying to say. So get in tune with your body, and you have to move. Circulatory issues. I'm laughing because my son and I had this conversation last week. We were talking about exercise, and just because it's considered a sport, it's not exercising. And he's like, gaming is a sport, but it's not exercise. Baby, you're moving your thumbs. You need to circulate your whole body. The thing is, you're strengthening the veins and the arteries to push the blood and continue to pump the blood. These bodies age, they get older, and the things that work right don't begin to not work right because we didn't pump them to keep them working at optimal, efficient level. At an optimal, efficient level. The body is a machine, and that machine needs to be worked or it will begin to break down. The body, the circulatory system. Say you have a job where your job is not physical. You sit at a desk, and 15 years after doing this, your feet swell. And now you have to deal with, why do my feet swell? It's because your veins got tired of being the only thing that pushes the blood that's in your feet back up to your heart. They get tired. They start wearing down. They don't push like they used to. And all of that blood starts pooling down there. And now your legs are swollen. But it was due to lack of exercise. And they don't tell you when you're 25 years old. And what I mean by they, you know what I mean. Mainstream media. The Matrix, basically. They don't tell you when you're 25, this is what happens if you don't exercise at 25 and at 35 and at 45. That at 55, now your feet are swelling. But you could have prevented that at 25 by walking 3 times a week. They just tell you to do it. But they don't break down literally what goes on in the body and why you should do it. Everybody knows they should exercise. Everybody knows not to be obese. But, we don't get presented the logic side of the situation. Self-care, self-love is a spiritual practice. Loving the vehicle that you're in and showing its appreciation to you by taking care of it. We got 2 more in this video, and stay tuned. This is the first of 3 video series about spiritual practice. And drop down in the comments and let me know some of your spiritual practices. Some of the things that you do. I would be very interested to learn. Like in one of my videos, I have it was an old spiritual practice for me, but I thought that I was the only person that did it. And literally, I learned about, there's this whole little ritual that goes into this. So let me know what some of your spiritual practices are. This is a spiritual practice that is so underrated. Laughter. Laughter as a spiritual practice, but I know you guys have heard of the laughing Buddha. And you've seen it, picture of a jolly fat man with his belly. Laughter just makes you feel good. It's just common sense. Come on now. It's just common sense. When you're laughing, you feel good. When you're laughing, you feel good. It literally makes you feel better. Have you ever been at a point where you were mad and somebody did something funny and it just broke up all the energy of you being angry? That's what laughter does. Man, listen. Try to laugh at least once a day. If I have not said anything or heard anything funny all day long, I will put on a funny movie, funny TV show, something funny that I know is going to make me laugh. It just keeps the spirit up. It keeps us hopeful about life and moving forward, because this shit is hard. Laughter counterbalances the perils and the trials of this existence. The last spiritual practice in this video is certainly not the least. Okay, so spiritual practices, things that you do to maintain a high vibrational frequency, to make yourself feel better, to keep the chi flowing and the energy flowing, to help you stay connected to God and the spirit world and source. The last thing is to connect with other people. The reason why this is on the list as a spiritual practice is bonding with each other, solidifying our connections as being all as one. One spirit, many different souls, breaking off of that spirit, but yet coming from the same source. When you connect with people, a couple of things happen. Sometimes, you could be on a spiritual path and you think that it's a lonely path. You must walk it alone, which is true. Yes, you are the center of your universe. Your path is yours to walk. However, there is no rule and no law saying that you have to bear the burdens of your emotions by yourself. Having a support system is so important because the traumas that we endure, when you suppress them, when you keep them to yourself, when you push them down, that trauma disrupts your energy balance. It throws your chi off. It throws your chakras off. It closes them. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, some people have begun to think that is part of being spiritual. Always wanting to appear strong or appear that you've gotten it all together. And that is ego. That is self-image. That is what you want to put out, that you want other people to think. Part of this journey is authenticity, is vulnerability, is reaching out to that one person. All you need is one safe space, one that you can reach out to and say, hey, this is weighing heavily on my spirit. Can I talk to you? Do you have an ear that you can lend me a little while? Do you have a shoulder that I can lean on for a little while? That is an important spiritual practice of reaching out, of knowing when you need help, of talking, of finding people, of community. Even therapists get therapy, Connect with family. Pick up the phone and call someone and get that exchange of love. I had a situation where one of my cousins called me out the clear blue sky and just spoke over my life and poured love into me. And she was like, you do important work. You need that. It was so cleansing. It was a reset. I needed it at that moment because my energy was really being depleted. And here she come, The angels knew what I needed. But if I would have felt like, oh, baby, I'm a spiritual teacher. Can't nobody tell me nothing. If I would have felt like that, then I would have missed that gift, that reciprocation of love. That bond, that connective, that thing that we all share as human beings, our ability to connect with each other. Don't neglect that. Yes, the spiritual path can be a lone journey, but you don't have to be alone. Find people. Reach out to people. Find your tribe. Be open to your tribe. Be open to allowing healing to come in the form of conversation. That's why therapy is so important, because just talking about it, the act of release, is very healing. What am I doing right now? Okay, what am I doing with this energy? It's coming up. It's going outward. Each time I speak, take a breath. Where's that breath coming from? In that gut. And then it's being released by words, by, the sounds that we have decided, when you put them together, make words, and the words make phrases and sentences. All of this is energy. You have to release that energy from inside of you. It can't stay bottled up. It can literally cause physical disease. that is the end of video 1 of this series of spiritual practice. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you stay tuned for video 2. And I thank you for watching. Peace and love and light, y'all. Bye.